I would be happy to head back, talk to them,
Yeah.
see if anything's happened, and then if it's all good, then we can sleep.
Yep.
How about that?
I'm just trying to think where Edward, is that what his name was?
Mhm.
I'm wondering where he was because I don't think he could leave the property because if they couldn't, then he can't. But
No, so I don't think we could look for him.
He's not going to be down here anywhere, right?
No.
I'm just trying to think if there's any way that he could be down here. But yeah, I'm down to go back.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. So
In
you're heading
agreement?
back. With that, you all pick up your new items, put them on or place them on your person wherever, and head back towards where Maximilian and Annabelle are. As you head back that way, you make your way through the muddy cave. You all kind of hold your breath and duck under this kind of watery little path that you have to go through. And you poke your head up on the other side where you see Maximilian and Annabelle both floating there, kind of just talking to each other. They don't seem to have noticed you as you hear Maximilian say, My daughter, I'm so sorry. It's okay, Dad. It's okay. It's not all your fault. You just wanted us to be happy and safe, and I'm sorry for complaining about being hungry all the time before everything. Maybe if I wasn't complaining so much, you wouldn't have ever picked up the book. No, it is not your fault. I did what I thought was right. And then they both kind of see you as they look out of the corner of their eyes and they turn towards you.
Hey, Max. Hey, Max. Check out this thing I got. And I unfold and fold the staff a bunch in front of him.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. Oh, Victor, that will be wonderful for you. That thing looks powerful.
It's so cool.
He floats over and kind of just takes a look up and down at it. He says, I feel as though I've seen this once before. He's going to roll a history check. Nice. Yes. There was a foolish little man with a long beard that came through the mansion many years ago. And he carried a staff like this and a cloak like that. He points to Crumb.
Huh.
Good thing I'm a foolish big man.
Wait. Okay, if I summon a ghost via my lantern, does it take a point?
Good question. When you summon the ghosts, they last for, what does it say when you click on the ghost lantern in D&D Beyond? When you click on that item, does it give you a time limit?
Let me see.
I don't know if they have a time limit. I think they might just last until you either recall them or...
It does not say.
Okay. I think to balance it a little bit, I will say when you summon them, you can summon them once per long rest. We'll say that.
Okay, great. I'm about to take a long rest, so I summon Barnabas.
All right. So
Did you name Barnabas?
His name is Barnabas.
Did you name him, or is he just called Barnabas?
Does Barnabas know his name is Barnabas?
We'll see.
So as you lift the lantern up, it begins to glow this kind of eerie bluish green color, and you hear a horrible like groaning coming from the glass around the lantern, and you start to see these ghostly hairs peek through the glass, and then these ghostly eyes with glasses on them as his face contorts and springs out of the lantern. He appears in front of you with like a ghostly wisp from like where his feet are attached to the lantern, so he can't like leave the land. He's like a genie right now, if that makes sense. There's like a ghostly wisp connecting him.
Yeah.
And as he comes out, oh, poopy! What happened? He's looking around. He's a short man with glasses and a long beard, kind of frizzled out hair, and a cape similar to what looks like what Crumb is wearing. He holds a staff similar to what looks like Victor.
Hello, I am your master now. I hope you're okay with that.
The master? I serve no master!
We'll see about that later on. But for now,
Ooh.
do
Hey,
you
I'm a
happen to
lot
know each
nicer, by
other?
the way. I'm sorry that you're stuck in that lantern right now.
So,
I'm not stuck. I can leave whenever I want. He starts
sorry,
trying to flow
yeah.
away.
I meant
I
that.
just
I
don't
meant
want
that.
to.
He's trying to fly away, and he's like straining against it. Poopy. He turns back and looks at you.
So anyway, Max, do you know this fellow? Do you know who this is?
I never got to know him personally, but he came through the mansion as an explorer.
Oh, I remember you. You're the one that was trapped in the main foyer. Pathetic ghost, you're so weak.
He kind of like sneers at him, and Maximilian just laughs.
Dang.
Look at which one of us is stuck in a lantern. They kind of stare each other
Ouch.
down.
The burn. Whew. What happened to you, Barnabas? How'd you end up in that lantern?
Well, I was chasing a lead. There was a young man who was floating around, and he went down into the basement, and I followed him. And, well, there was another creature down there that, I wasn't sure what exactly they were like, but they quickly came out of nowhere and ambushed me.
Was it a crocodile or not?
No, it was another one of those specters.
He points to Annabelle and Maximilian. And he says,
Interesting.
Sounded female, but I'm not sure. She came out of nowhere and
Oh, the
wrapped
wife.
me up and shoved me in my own lantern and kicked me out into that lake.
The wife wouldn't be able to go down there, would she?
Well, we don't know.
As a ghost,
That's-
maybe.
That's
we don't know.
we don't know if she's actually no bueno, right? Because she has
Oh
the
yeah, she might not be a
spooky-
ghost. Right?
She has the
Oh,
spooky stuff inside the room that we need to go to with the wedding band.
yeah. But he did say that she looked like the other two, so she is a ghost.
Mm-hmm. So I bet she has the ability to go outside the confines of
Mm,
the spell. Maybe she even is contributing to the spell being in place.
true.
I'd
Did he
like
say
to try.
what was Barnabas following a lead on?
He said a little. It sounded like maybe Edward, like he was
Yeah.
following
A
Edward.
little
That's what
man.
I thought that's
Yeah.
what he was saying.
I'd
Okay.
like to try to sneak up on Barnabas while they're talking.
roll a stealth check. I gotta pull up the rolls real quick, so give me a
Oh,
second.
I do too.
What's a B?
That's a 20.
He just not 20.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
just nat 20'd it, yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
First one of
The
night,
first
that's
roll
good.
of the day.
That's good.
First
Okay.
roll of the day.
Ultimate stealth.
I sneak up on Barnabas,
Yep,
and
he
as I
doesn't seem to notice.
approach, I take my staff and I wind it up as if I'm about to swing, and then he notices me. And instead of swinging, I just open and close it a bunch. But look at this thing; it's so cool. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
You were gonna hit me with that, weren't you?
Wait, what? You're a ghost. That wouldn't make any sense.
That's my
Look at
staff.
this
Give it back.
He reaches
That's
out
my
for
staff.
it. Roll me a
I jerk it
dexterity
away.
save.
Finders keepers.
Roll me a dexterity save.
While that's happening,
What
I'm
if he
just
gets it
gonna
stolen?
hide my cape behind my back.
It's already on your
Oh,
back.
he keeps it. Dang it.
All right.
Just awkwardly shuffle behind Grog or Chunks.
I'm gonna roll a check for Barnabas. He rolls a 2, so he goes to reach for it, and you just kind of like
Just jerk it
reach
away,
it
yeah.
just out of his range, and he's pulling on the lantern, Korax, trying to get closer to his own staff.
Wait, he's short, right? Can I just hold it
Bullying
above his head?
Barnabas.
Like, you know, like a bully would, like in school, guys hold it above his head. Like,
Yes, this reminds me of middle
Victor,
school.
why are you so mean to Barnabas?
because he's trying to take my staff.
It's not
Yeah, that's
yours,
because you were
though.
teasing him.
I'm sorry, does it have his name on it, Crumb?
Okay,
Oh
I think
my
I should
gosh.
summon him back. You guys are agitating
I'm
my
nice.
ghost.
No, don't put me back in there. Come on,
I'm
we can be
Trunks,
friends.
And I am cheesed to meet you, and we'll see you soon.
You say
No.
cheese to me.
Don't put me back in there. Come on, it's so lonely and cold.
I resummoned Barnabas.
He gets sucked back up.
Desummon? I don't know.
Yeah.
You get it.
He gets sucked back up. And you're all alone now with Maximilian and Annabelle, who are both staring at you.
What a pleasant fellow.
Well, I guess we know where all the
I
items
don't know
came
if you'd
from.
agree with that assessment of you now, Victor. What about the other lantern?
Yeah,
Don't you
did they
have
all
another?
come from them both? Or?
I do.
Do you
I
want
wonder
to
if-
use it?
Introduce them?
You don't have
Maybe
to use
later.
it.
The shrug.
I
You're
wonder
about
if
to
they
go
wrote
sleep,
their
though.
People needs to
names.
keep some secrets,
A
right?
clear
woman
preference
needs
to
some
Barnabas, I
mystery.
suppose.
I wonder if they wrote their names in the guest book and everything.
Hey, Max, do you have any info on this really slick chest plate that I have now? It's awesome.
I do not. It probably was worn by another adventurer who came through here. Probably died in the basement as well.
Seems to be a lot of unaliving going on in the basement.
Yes. But maybe it is a sign that we have not been attacked down here. It seems like whoever this is might be afraid of you.
We are big
I
intimidated.
don't blame him.
My intimidation is +5.
As we
Nobody
saw.
dares mess.
Oh,
Everyone's
yes.
afraid of me.
Oh, everyone should be afraid of you.
Yeah.
I can
Promise.
tell you are an undead's
Insanely
worst
intimidating.
nightmare.
I am. They have nightmares about me. It's terrifying. They wake up
True.
crying.
Actually, that's a good
True.
question. Max, do you dream? Do you have nightmares? Do you sleep?
We
What
do
do you
not.
do? Oh, man.
It is a
Uh.
waking death.
Oh,
You can be so
I don't-
productive, though. I would love to not have to sleep because then I could fight ghosts all the time without having
he's
to
literally
recharge.
dead, bro. Come on.
He's
Yeah, but you can
undead,
be
Crumb.
productive in your afterlife.
He's dead, bro. He was trapped in like a room for like 12 years or something.
But he can still talk
was
and
more
share
like 100
knowledge and be
years.
productive.
Well, shall we start sleeping so we
Yeah,
can
I'm
get all of our
tired.
skills back?
Yeah, Max, Annabelle, is there any reason for us not to sleep?
It is totally up to you. We can watch you as you sleep and protect you as best and wake you up if we hear anything. But
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
Just
that sounds
know-
good.
time waits for no one. So the longer we wait, the stronger she might become.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
I'm already
really
in the
tired.
corner, like I'm already in the corner, tucked into my sleeping bag. Like
Okay.
I wasn't even waiting. Like
We did just heal a gigantic crocodile. I think we deserve it.
I mean, I could just take a short rest and then maybe chill with the ghosts.
Um,
I thought you were long resting to get your ghost back. No.
Oh, that's true.
One of us is long resting. There's no
Fair,
reason
fair.
not for us to. There was something about spending an hour with our items to become proficient in them or something. Was that
That
all of
was
us,
to
or-
attune to them so that you could
Attune,
use
yeah.
them. That's all. And you're already attuned. It was those special gloves that you got.
Okay.
And the
That was
armor.
just me. Okay.
It was the armor, the gloves, the cape, and the rod.
Okay. But we've already done that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Alright, so a long rest then.
go ahead and do your long rest at the top of your character sheet. There's the button for the
Okay.
long rest. It's above your speed, your walking speed. Looks like a moon.
Yep.
So click that and then make sure you hit confirm, and it should reset all of your spell slots.
Yeah, there's a checkbox that says reset maximum HP changes during this rest. Is that checked?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's what you'd want to do.
Okay.
All right. As you
Nice.
guys all sleep, I would like everybody please to roll me a wisdom saving throw. Wisdom
Oh,
saving-
boy. this
thing
again.
Yeah.
You did a wisdom
Uh-oh.
check, Victor.
Oh, where's the throw?
It's,
Or wait.
Thank goodness, because you
Top
rolled a
left
4.
small box.
Oh, the small section. Okay. Sorry.
Oh! Huh! Wait, that's a 7, that's not a 1. I thought it was a 1. Oh god. It's still probably bad, but oof.
All right, 11, 14, 13, 11, and 16. Okay. So, as you all rest, Victor, you get a nice, solid rest. Grog and Korax, you also get a pretty solid rest. Trunks and Crumb, though, as you rest, kind of snuggled up near each other, as you rest, you both start to hear that familiar laughter. And as you hear that, you are frightened of that laughter until the next time you rest. Now, before you all wake up.
It's okay. That's no change since last time.
True.
No, not the psychological damage.
No psychic damage, but Korax, as you're resting, you start to hear a voice, and this is just Korax. Korax is the only one that hears it in her dreams. You're kind of in a black void, and as you stand there in the black void, you're looking around. Your lanterns kind of jangle at your side. Your staff is, you like tap it on the ground, and the ground seems like it's made of like solid, like almost tile. As you're standing on it, it's very hard. And looking around, it's just black everywhere. And in front of you, floating, is that ring. It's kind of glowing purple, and you hear a voice. Who's there?
It's I, Korax. Who's addressing me?
I'm Edward. Who are you? Why did you come after this ring?
I'm here to save Max and Anna.
My father, my sister, they're with you.
Yes, we need the ring to save them.
I'm trapped inside the ring. I came looking for it, and when I touched it, it sucked me inside. I don't know where I am. I can't see anything. I can just hear you.
Is there anything? Do you have any information on how to get out of the ring? Do you know how to get out?
I'm sure the answer is probably somewhere in whatever creature's keeping us here. It's probably in one of their books, maybe the book.
In the library? In the basement?
Is that where it is? The library?
There's books in the library. Is that where the book is?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Why did you came here for my dad and my sister?
Yes, we're here to help their souls. We can help yours too, if we can help you escape.
I would very much like that. It's been a long time. I want to see my dad and my sister before I go.
Who put you in the ring?
I did, by myself, by accident.
Oh. Where's your mother? Do you know where your mother is?
I don't. I haven't seen her since the incident that happened.
The incident?
Yes. It was the day we all started to age. She disappeared.
Would your father know about this incident?
Yes. He was there. We were holding hands. And then when we faded, our souls were separated in the mansion.
I see.
It was me, my dad, and my two sisters.
Two sisters. Interesting.
Yes, Victoria. Have you seen her?
We've not seen Victoria. No, we have not seen Victoria. We'll have to find her.
She was always angry and never wanted to be in the house. Of course, she came back right at the worst time. You'll probably find her somewhere where she's getting herself into trouble.
Thank you for this information.
Thank you.
We'll do all we can to help your family.
Thank you. I'll be listening through the ring, but I can't communicate unless you're sleeping.
All right.
You know where I am.
I I guess I'll wake up and I'll tell the others and I'll see you at the next sleep.
Okay. And I'm sorry about this. And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
What? Oh, okay.
Not bad. All right, you take 2 psychic damage from the ring again as you wake up.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right. As you wake, the rest of the party kind of stirring as well. Maximilian says, "Ah, you are awake. Good to see you all made it through the night okay. You look scared. Crumb, Trunks, are you okay?"
A little bit of laughter never hurt nobody.
Yeah, I had a nightmare and it was scary.
It's just the same one as last time. It ain't no thing. I'll be fine. Crumb, it'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be good. No worries.
Okay, as long as we don't hear any familiar laughter.
Yeah. No way. We're not going to hear any of that. Who'd be laughing in a place like this?
Okay, I believe you.
Well, I had a really interesting dream. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there I was, surrounded by a ton of elves. So hot as hell. No, just
I've
kidding.
had this dream before. Hang on.
Wait a second.
Wait. Let me cover Annabelle's ears. Let me cover her
Don't
ears.
interrupt her. Go on.
Maximilian floats over and covers Annabelle's ears.
I'm also going to cover my ears.
No, Edward talked to me through the ring, actually.
Edward.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where is he?
He's in the ring.
Oh, like in it. He's stuck in it?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's
Edward
in the ring.
is the ring.
Oh, it's like your lantern.
It's like a lantern, but a ring.
Oh, huh.
I almost dropped him down an alligator's throat.
Oh, man.
That was a close
You
one.
are saying my son is inside the ring.
He is in the
Oh,
ring.
yeah. That's right, Max.
Foolish.
What did he
boy.
say?
Foolish boy. Can I relay all the information via meta?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So everyone, you are aware of the dream now.
That's crazy.
So
Huh. Well, we should probably return to the library because there was the door where the ring goes into,
Mhm.
and then maybe
Yeah.
that would be the next step.
That could be something. Max, what do you think?
yes, I think the library is our next stop.
Also, Max, do you know anything about the incident?
It was the day we all died. It was.
So what was this aging thing?
My notes say, let me find it. Oh, geez, where is it?
Okay, but when do the elves come in?
That was my other dream.
So in Anna's diary, one of the last things we read was Dad's acting weird, getting wrinkly, Mom angry. That's one of the last entries.
For Anna's
Um,
diary?
So was it
Yeah.
was it a rapid aging in one session with everyone together, or did it just happen kind of faster than it should?
She said that they were holding hands when it was happening.
Yeah, it sounded like a super quick, like, oh, one time we're
Yeah,
here
it
now,
sounded
and then
fast.
we just they just degraded.
It was in a matter of hours.
Huh. What happened to your
Was-
wife then?
Yeah, was Audrey there?
She was not. No. I was affected by the spell first. The entry in which you speak must have been. Annabelle interrupts. I wrote that like a week before everything happened. Yes. When you cast a spell, you're usually the first to see its effects. But in this case, this was more of a curse and less of a spell.
Is that implying that Anna cast the curse?
No, the
No.
dad.
Oh, the dad did.
He got wrinkly first.
So Dad started to wrinkle about a week before they all began to
Oh.
age.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Did Audrey age?
Annabelle's going to roll a history check. Maximilian's going to roll a history check. Annabelle rolled a 4, but Maximilian rolled a 19.
My man.
He doesn't say anything but looks away as you see a ghostly tear drop down his nose.
So is Audrey the only one that wasn't there at the event?
Yes, she was.
Grog, I'm going to need you to stop implying my wife is evil, please.
I was trying to ask if Victoria and Edward were there at the time.
Yes.
Edward must have been.
Well, yeah, Edward was.
It's Victoria, we just don't know anything about yet.
Edward said Victoria was there.
I would like to give Max an imaginary pat on the back while he's upset.
You can kind of like feel his back. You can.
Why
'cause
not a
you're
real
an
pat
inspector.
on the back?
Then it is a real pat on the back to a ghost.
Well, should we go back to the library?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
So, with that, you all, as you kind of are planning to go back to the library, it is, again, a perilous journey, this time swimming upwards through the murky waters from where the basement's at. So, you have a couple options. One is you can try and look for another way out. Two, you can make that trek the same way you did. Or three, you could try and use some of those items to help you as well, the items that you got. Some of them have pretty powerful abilities.
Doesn't Victor have a teleportation
How
thing?
would they get
that's what I
out
was
of
gonna ask. Am I able to-
elevator shaft this time?
Well, I have to be able to see. So can I just I teleport 8 people? Can I just teleport us to the top if I can see it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna, after a long rest, I can choose one of 3 traits. I'm gonna take the climbing one today. Swimming was the last one. I'm gonna switch it now.
Well, also though, Victor can teleport us all out. Is that the one that you want, regardless?
Yeah, I don't want swimming, so I don't think we'll need to hold our breath today. But
Might as well wait until you need it for something, right?
I think I have to decide at the start of the day. I think I don't want to decide based on later information, if that makes sense.
Got
so
it.
I feel like I should just take it now.
All right. So, what's going to have to happen is all of you swim together to the elevator shaft. And while holding hands, Victor, you would look up the shaft and teleport everybody.
Cool.
Okay. Victor, how many charges is that?
Is it just one, or is it one per person? I don't know how this works.
It's one per... No, it's not one per person. It's like one for the spell. So, or
Oh,
however many for the spell.
This says cast 7 charges, 10 charges, reset other.
Okay. So
I don't know
it's
what that
7
means.
charges of the wand. You can see how many charges the wand has by how many boxes are at the top of it when you
Right.
click on it.
Oh
So-
yeah, the cast and teleport takes 7. Okay.
Okay, so mark off 7 of the charges.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. I need
That's the
everybody
sound
to
it
roll
makes, by the
me
way.
a Constitution saving throw.
Are we gonna throw up?
Oh boy.
Oh God. Wait, I fly though.
Oh, that's not great.
I guess
Oh, yeah,
teleportation is
Korax
different
could
from
fl-
flying. It's a
Oh,
little
Victor's
different.
fine.
I got these slow rolls again.
Yeah, Korax, you could have flown up. What you doing with the teleport?
I can't fly everyone up though.
All right.
No, but you could have flown yourself. Then you
We
wouldn't
also
throw
want to
up.
test the cool new staff, okay?
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it is.
cool though. I want to get teleported. It seems fun.
So
I
This is
think-
bad. I'm having a
I
bad
think I'm
time.
gonna throw up.
you all hold your breath and swim towards the elevator shaft. Victor kind of leading the way. And as you reach the shaft, Korax, you kind of start to inhale water. And
never was good
as
at
you
swimming.
do, Victor casts the teleportation spell. You all out of existence and into the lobby of the mansion. Not the lobby of the mansion, the hallway of the mansion where the elevator shaft is. And
My Wamo.
into like onto the rugs. There's water all over the rugs. You guys kind of splatter around like fish out of water, just kind of rolling around a little bit. Korax, you coughing up water. You're all safe inside the mansion once more. Now, before you head to the library, is there anything else that you guys would like to do beforehand?
Guys, any thoughts?
I'm Do we? Oh, well, we're with Max, right?
You
Can
are.
we ask Max to take us to Victoria's room?
He nods his head, and he
Guys cool
leads
with that?
you. As he does, you guys float through and float and walk through the mansion, up and around the stairs. Once in a while, a creature comes from the walls or a painting, peeling itself off of the painting and going for a slash on one of you. I would like everybody to roll me a perception check. Depending on how you do on these, you'll get to attack first, or these will get to attack first.
Boy.
Oh, come on.
I'm having a real bad day today.
Blind as an elephant.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Nice, Crumb.
Nice. Okay. So, Victor, as you're walking behind Maximilian, a painting on the wall of a beautiful woman, she kind of peels off of the paint and goes for a slash on you.
Yeah, this checks out.
With a 12 to hit, what is your armor class?
10.
All right. So it's going to be 4 points of slashing damage. And then you can retaliate.
Can I like as a spell retaliation or anything?
Yeah.
Or
Whatever any action you want.
Are you sure you wish to cast a spell?
Well, I don't.
I'm
looking at my options. I'm looking at my
Okay.
options.
I'm
Trunks,
just trying
okay?
to keep you in check, Victor. You know, don't waste anything on a little puny grunt. You know.
Like a question about minor illusion because it's a cantrip, right? So that's not a spell slot.
Yes.
Am I able to use that to make like an image of someone else in the party?
It is not that good. It's good enough to make an image of Crumb. That's about it.
Right.
What?
Well, that's actually exactly what I was thinking about. Like,
Okay.
as I realized we're getting attacked by the paintings, can I cast an illusion to help her, like, maybe not get attacked type thing?
Okay. Sure.
Okay, that's what I would like to do then.
All
I
right.
think
That's
she'll
my
be okay, though.
retaliation.
Crumb is a 21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she is.
Very perceptive.
But this might not be the only attack. This is
Okay.
free, so who cares?
All right. Sure.
Thank you, Victor. I owe you my life.
Okay, but my minor illusion of Crumb, for whatever reason, has a French accent.
What?
Okay.
What does it sound like?
So you do
Victor?
have to pick vision or sound with minor illusion. You
Oh,
can't
it's
have
not
both.
both. Okay,
No.
it's just vision then, just vision.
All right. So
He
a
doubles
cool
down on
looking
the French
Crumb.
accent.
French
Is this-
looking Crumb, though.
Is
Yeah,
this like the
it's Crumb with a
Pokemon
French-
movie?
It has a curly mustache.
No, it's Crumb with like a beret.
I was gonna say, is this like the Pokemon movie where there's like the good version of Pikachu, and like the evil version that Mewtwo makes? I don't know if anyone knows my
Okay,
reference.
I
but-
cried at
Yeah,
that movie.
yeah, yeah,
Don't you
yeah.
dare bring that up while we're doing.
I love
review.
that movie.
All right, so
Pokemon?
you're able
That's
to
Pokemon movie
distract
going at me.
that
What's
ghost.
Pokemon?
I will have that come up on Crumb's turn. So,
Okay, cool.
Victor, that is the ghost that attacks you. Korax, you see the ghost coming after you, and this one comes from the rug, like underneath you. So it's like coming up out of the ground to attack you. You've got a chance to react before it gets to do anything to you.
Eldritch Blast.
All right,
pew
go ahead and roll
pew.
Whoa.
It's a cantrip.
off.
Doesn't matter. Hold on. Hold on. My stuff is messed up. Can't get rid of this. Oh, there we go. Well, bam.
All right.
Sure.
You did damage. Roll me at the attack first.
Yeah.
to hit.
Oh,
Roll
sorry,
me
my
the to
bad,
hit
my
first.
bad.
You're good. You're good. Yep, you're good. So you deal 3 damage. I feel like Eldritch Blast should be. Is it level? There should be a level.
Oh, I think it should be 2d10, right?
I agree. I think it
Especially
should be
because I'm
2.
level 6.
I think it should be 2 as well.
I'll just do another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, it's 10. Nice.
There we go.
Ooh.
Nice.
13's enough to blast this ghost out of existence. Next up, Grog. Grog, as you're walking along, this time out of one of the torches on the wall, a flame-like ghost appears. This wraith goes to attack you with a 8 to hit, so it's going to miss as its flaming arm goes past you. You have a chance now to react to it.
I'll just swing. I'll swing my great axe at it.
All right.
Slowly rolling.
It's all good.
Oh, Oh, Eldritch Blast does 2 beams. Maybe that's what we were thinking.
And you get a
okay.
D20 plus 6. Good God.
On the Great Axe, still probably not enough.
It's okay. An 11's going to hit because this is a stationary ghost. So.
Okay. And damage.
Oh, wait, that's the 2 hit. I was looking at
Yes.
I was like, that's big
Oh,
damage.
yeah.
Wrong thing. That's still pretty big
D12
damage.
still really good. It's the highest dice below the 20. All right. And then Korax, roll me another to hit so we see if the second one hits. I think it will probably. Roll me another to hit since it's
big
2 beams. You have
damage.
to roll 2 attacks.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
All right. 12's going to kill it. This torch ghost gets eviscerated. All right. 10 is just what you needed to hit the ghost, so you're good.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Next up is Trunks. Trunks, as you're walking along, from the ceiling, a ghost that's shaped like a wooden plank kind of grows eyes and comes down to try and shoot a nail at you from the wood. It rolls a 12 to hit, which is going to miss you. You can react now as this like wooden beam is bent down towards you.
Puny ghost, 12 from my 20. Get out of here. I'm going to smack at it with the Morning Star. Oh, yes, we're going to hit that.
Yeah,
We hit
natural
these?
20. You don't even
my
need to roll
God.
damage. You just blast this thing out
Okay.
of existence, just shattering throughout the hallway. And then Crumb, you get to react with advantage. So whatever attack you want to roll, Crumb, you get to roll twice and take the higher number because Victor is helping you. So with that, a ghost that comes after you, it is actually a ghostly cat that kind of like comes out from a corner hallway and goes to like jump on you.
There can only be one cat. I use my claws to scratch up this fool.
All right, go ahead
Crumb,
and
there's 2.
roll
There's Rifkin's
your
illusion.
attack
I mean,
with
Victor.
advantage.
Dang.
Okay, so roll again. Take the higher here. Wow. Holy shit.
Oh, no.
All right. So 2 10s, still gonna hit, but doesn't matter. You still hit, but go ahead and roll the damage for your claws. I think it should be. I don't know if you get. Do I have you with special damage? I think I do.
Yes. What the heck, bro?
That's. I mean, it's not the worst. As you go for a slash on the cat ghost, it kind of reels back, and now it's confused as it's looking at the real you and the fake you. Victor and Crumb, you each still have a ghost on you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of skip through this and say that each of you takes 1 damage from your ghosts and you kill them.
Also, I need to roll. This is a roll because I got the nat 20. It did a highlight thing. I think I just need to reset it
Yeah,
on
go
my
for it.
attack for next time.
Let's see how much damage you would have done. 14. Oh yeah, you would have blasted that thing.
Nice.
Totally killed it. Nice job. All right. So continuing onward, Maximilian, continuing forward, he says, "Sorry, as I said, the place is overrun." And you arrive at a large pink doorway. As you're looking at it, it has a knocker on the door. It looks kind of like it's in the shape
I
of
hardly know her.
of a snake that's on the door. The knocker's like in the shape of a snake, and like there are pieces of paper taped to the door or like stuck to it with paste. It's not really tape, it's like stuck to it with paste. And these say, "Keep out, don't come in, screw you, mom and dad."
Oh no, teenager problems, huh?
So as he approaches the door, he just floats through it.
Shall we, do we need to knock, Max? Are we okay? Can you let us in? Knock, knock.
I can't really interact with the door.
I didn't mean to rub it in. It was a genuine question. Okay, we'll enter.
I'll
That's
push the
such a
handle.
jerk.
So you open the door, and inside this bedroom is a regular, like it seems like a regular teenager bedroom. It's got, posters up on the wall, like paintings up on the wall of like what look like band members, and on the bed, it's like all messy with a bunch of her clothes on the bed. You can see there is a like lantern that probably was used at the desk that's in her room, but it is like there's nothing on the desk, like no homework, no journal, no nothing. It looks like it's kind of empty. Looks like all the drawers are open and there's nothing in the drawers. Like whatever happened, those things have been either taken by people who have come through the mansion, or she had them like moved somewhere else before she died, or you're not sure. But she doesn't seem to be in here. It's dark.
Were there band like pop stars and bands in this time with posters?
Sure, like tavern
Yeah,
tavern
definitely.
legends.
You know how
this
like
is
in
like it's like 150 years ago, wasn't it?
Mhm.
They had-
Jordan, come on. Even in the Roman times, like Colosseum winners, like had like posters and stuff of them.
yeah, but were these distributed and like the kids hung them up in their houses and had like posters of cars and stuff like this? Is 150 years ago. This is a thing.
There's it seems like there's a band called Skillet on the wall and like the lead singer is holding like a big frying pan, and then you look over and you see one called Imagine Dragon, and it's like the poster is like a girl imagining a dragon, and on the back of the dragon is the band members.
Can I scribble onto the poster? Imagine dragging these nuts across your face.
That's rude. It's not yours. It's not yours. That's rude. That's rude. I'm not letting you. You will suffer the wrath of my claws.
In that case, I just point out the joke.
I look at you very disappointedly.
Please don't draw on my daughter's walls. No matter how much I hate this decor. So, now that we're here, what are we looking for?
Any
Looking
journals?
for Victoria.
Well, she wouldn't be here. You can see she doesn't spend much time here.
Are there any books, journals, anything like that? Any more notes? Any more I hate mom and dads, things like that?
I wouldn't think so, but it can't hurt to look. Go ahead and roll me investigation checks, everybody.
Oh my god, today is really bad.
It's
It's
just
gonna,
Oh, I
it's gonna be
picked my
great when
dice
it
again.
matters. Like, when it matters, it's gonna be a great roll.
Wow.
Is it though? Because I got
Nat
a 20 on
investigation.
Yeah.
stealthing a Corax's ghost.
So, you were on, by the way, you're on the first, like, floor of the mansion. So, just so you know, you haven't, like, gone up the stairs or anything. This is the first.
Is that American first floor or British first floor?
What do you mean? I don't know what the difference is.
It's floor
Oh my
0
goodness.
and floor
Okay,
1.
ground floor, got it.
Yeah, ground floor. Okay. So, Trunks, Victor, and Crumb and Grog, you all don't find anything of note, really. Corax, as you're kind of looking around, your senses draw you to the window, which has, like, you know, the paint on the window, like the windowsill is, the paint on the windowsill is pretty uniform, except for you see, like, some finger marks, like fingers have been brushed across it many, many, many times to the point where that the paint has kind of dirtied on the window. Looks like this window's been used a lot to get in and out of.
She was a rebel in her life. Maybe she's like hanging out below the window.
Right now?
Yeah, why not?
She's just hanging out.
Yeah, Edward said check where she would be causing trouble.
True.
Who drew the?
But would she be able to leave the house?
I don't know.
So, as you guys are kind of discussing a little bit, Maximilian and Annabelle are kind of floating around the room looking at things too, reminiscing a bit. And Maximilian floats towards the east wall of the room, and as he kind of goes to like phase through the wall with Annabelle, they both are stopped and they kind of like hit their face on the wall.
So she would not be able to leave.
This room is not a room that leads out of the mansion. This is a room that should lead to a room that's like next door.
Let's check
The
it
window?
out.
The
They
window
didn't float
goes
towards the window, they floated towards a wall. So,
Oh, okay.
yes, they floated towards a place where they thought they could go. They seem surprised. They both like bump into the wall. That's strange.
What's next door? What's meant to be next door?
I never spent much time in this part of the mansion, as the only thing that was here was my daughter, who was never here. So I figured maybe she had wandered into the next room over.
Let's go check it out.
So as you guys leave Victoria's bedroom and go to the next room, the doorway to this room is a nondescript looking wooden door painted white, and it is locked as you go to try and go through it. Maximilian and Annabelle try to phase through the door and kind of get stopped again.
Grog, would you like to lend a hand?
Yeah, do your thing. Your famous lock opening.
I think you already lended a hand.
Are we going straight for it? Lending a hand.
What if it's a cursed door? Because what if he doesn't? Then he loses another arm. Because if the ghost can't go through, maybe it's enchanted.
That's why I was. It was semi-joking with my.
No, it's probably just Victoria trying to keep her family out.
I'll give it a kick.
But it does require a curse to keep the ghosts out, or something.
She'd appreciate us breaking her door.
Break the door!
Why don't we knock? Why don't we knock and see if anyone is
I'm
inside?
hyping myself up. I'm going to
knock on the door. I'm going to knock on the door.
Yeah, Grog, you got this.
Clorox
I'm
is hyping me up.
I'm hyping
I'm getting,
Grog
I'm
knocks on
getting
door.
in the zone.
Grog knocks on door before Grog gets too hyped up.
Okay, I go up to the door. Knock, knock. Hello, we are here to help you. Is there anyone in here?
As you knock on the door and say this, you all listen intently. Roll me perception checks as everyone listens.
Boy,
FBI,
oh boy.
open up!
Boy, oh boy.
What is wrong with me, bro?
What is wrong with me?
I didn't do well either.
Looks like I'm kicking this door.
We can't hear anything.
Well, this has gone
Nobody
very
rolled above
poorly.
a 10. Nobody hears anything on the other side of this door.
Don't kick
Out of the way,
door.
Crumb. Out of the way, Crumb. I got
Even
this.
with Crumb's like advanced perception, oh my gosh.
Please don't kick the door.
What else do you have in mind, Crumb?
Frog, do it!
I'm thinking. My brain is in full gear right now.
Crumb, I really want to kick this door. You got 30 seconds.
We still have lockpick. We still have lockpick.
Is there a lock on the door?
The handle has like a keyhole.
Let's go.
Thieves' tools, yeah.
If it's a curse that the ghost can't get through, why would a lock?
Well, we
be the
can
thing,
try
keeping
it. We can
closed?
try it, right?
Okay. All right.
Because
all
magic,
right.
Kara. That's why. Just because magic.
Magic of friendship.
Go ahead
Well, I
and roll
was
me a
thinking it's
d20.
magic, so why would a lockpick work? But it's
Anyone
fine,
who
just
wants
do
to
it.
lockpick, roll me a d20. We'll say
I'm
3
too
people can do
hyped
it.
up.
3 people can do it.
Yeah,
so you gotta
yeah, I'm
decide
too
which
hyped with
Not
Grog to
feeling
do
lucky.
it.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm
What
going
is
to get Grog. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Somehow,
Calm
Crumb.
down.
All right,
I've
Grog,
got it. I'm
it's
gonna
on
save
you.
the day. I'm gonna
Okay,
save
this
the
one's
day.
too small.
Here we go.
It's Goldilocks all over again.
That's somewhat.
This one's close. As you put the big one in, this one's much bigger, but this one also snaps. It almost looks like it breaks the lock, but you pull it out and the lock is not broken.
Rick, we only
Too
get one more
small,
go.
too big.
Who's gonna save it?
Victor,
Victor, we are
do you want to try,
you.
or are you too hyped for this?
I'm in the corner not paying attention right now.
Okay, I go up to Victor. Victor, can you please unlock the
What?
door?
Whoa! Where'd you come from?
I came from your mind. I am your conscience.
You're gonna say mom?
I am your conscience.
Sister?
And your conscience says that you should unlock the door.
Shall I unlock it with a fireball spell?
No, with your amazing.
Or Victor, we could have Grog to
lockpick.
smash the door open.
I'm not very
I'm nodding,
proficient
I'm
with
nodding.
this stuff, Crumb. I don't think I'm the one for the job. I can
Victor,
blow
you
up the
can
door
do
if
it.
you
We
want.
believe
I'm
in
your
you.
All right,
conscience.
We
Grog,
believe in you,
start
Victor.
winding
Come on,
up your
come on.
sling.
Victor, Crumb is gonna be
I'm
so
practicing
sad.
my kicks. I'm
Crumb is gonna be
practicing
so
my kicks
sad
in
if
the
you can't
corner.
get this. Please, Victor, just try.
Okay, in response to Crumb asking me so nicely, I instead touch her and give her mage armor.
Bro, I
You have mage
really
armor now.
appreciate it. But please, we have to unlock the door.
I'm pretty
I'm
winded from
sorry.
casting mage
Shoulders
armor.
goes
I'm pretty
back.
winded over here. I've just got to recover.
Okay.
All right,
then,
Grog, you're
I'm
up.
loosening up.
It's
I go
been
to
30
Grog.
seconds.
I
It's
go
been
to
30
Grog.
seconds.
Please, Grog, please do not kick the door. Please.
Crumb,
Please.
I've got this.
Come, he can either kick the door, or I can cast fireball at the door. What do you want?
I don't want any
Crumb, I'm sorry. I tried. I really did.
I go to Maximilian and I ask if he has any luck picking skills.
I'm like giving
shakes his
Grog
head
like
no.
a shoulder massage, like in a like in a boxing match.
I got a towel over
I'm
my
wiping his
shoulders.
forehead.
Crumb, there is a chance that Grog's punch will whiff or that he'll make contact with the door and his other hand will be
Trunks,
stolen.
I don't need that right now. Okay, I'm ready for this.
I'm reassuring Crumb that this might not be the end all be all.
Okay, I go into the corner and I sit facing away from everyone.
Aw.
I am not going to talk to any of you until this is over.
Cool cats don't look at explosions. All right, Grog.
Okay. I'm swinging at this door. I have the soul catcher gloves. I don't know if this will apply to doors, but it does say unarmed strike deals an extra 2d10 force
Oh.
damage.
Holy crap.
I'm not going to life steal off the door, obviously,
What?
but
Mhm.
yeah. So should I just roll unarmed strike?
Yep.
He hits, as you see.
Extra 2d10?
Mhm.
What?
That's
Did I just
insane.
do one die, or is this hype in the shoulder rub got me in the zone?
We'll
Does he
we'll
have
say
advantage?
with advantage. We'll say you roll
Yeah, he
twice.
can't roll with
Let's go.
advantage. I would be
Let's
so
go.
upset.
Come on.
The shoulder rub got you there.
Oh my god.
That's that's a
23.
hit.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
So you wind up, and as you do, you punch right next to where the door handle is, and the entire door shoots forward into the room, crashing quickly against the back wall,
He-
shattering into a million wooden
Dimension.
pieces.
Oh my god.
As you look inside, this is a closet.
That's my boy.
It's a closet. I look at Korak and I
All
say,
this for a
let's
closet."
go.
It's got mops and like toilet paper and that kind of stuff. It seems like a nondescript closet.
Can
I
we
don't even
check?
care. I'm so
There's
hyped.
got to be something in here. Can I check some? Look, anything.
Yeah. What would you? Just roll me an investigation check.
Investigation?
Yeah, just roll me an investigation check.
Should be all.
Preferably we can find a boss
That's not-
because
obviously.
Grog can
21.
one punch man anything right now.
So, with a 21, looking around the room, Korax, you find as you're kind of like ruffling through the things, you look into the like bucket of dirty mop water, and inside there is a familiar looking red gem. And as you pick it up, this is the same kind of gem that was keeping Maximilian locked in his little prison as well.
Mm.
And it was
Look, I
just kind
found
of
a shiny thing, guys.
chilling.
Oh. From the
Oh,
from
you
the
like
Infernal
shinies, right?
book.
I do. I love shinies. I'm just drawn to them. They're great.
Don't
So-
stereotype her though, guys. She's not a crow. It's very different.
Yeah, I'm not a crow, guys.
I learned this.
I'm crow
Episode one.
adjacent.
As you pick it up out of the like bucket of moppy gross water, the like you see like a shimmer of light on the edge of the doorway, and it seems like you've removed the blockage from Annabelle and Maximilian.
Cool.
As they kind of float into the room with you, it's really only enough room for all three of you to be in here. The rest of you are kind of standing out in the hall. Korax, as you're looking around, you found that gem. There's obviously, as you've seen, something in here of note, but you're not sure what. So, talk amongst yourselves. What do you think it might be?
Is there a seal in here?
A seal?
A
As
seal
in like
or
a magical
curse?
seal?
Yeah. Is there anything magical in
Orf.
here?
Go ahead and look me
animal.
up. Do me a investigation check, please.
Okay.
You're looking for a seal.
Is there anything with Victoria? Was she trapped in here? Anything?
I assume the gym is Victoria's like key to free her.
Right, but where is she? Where, like
Exactly,
Max
that's what
is
we're
in the
looking
right?
for.
Yeah, okay.
So, with a 20, you don't see any magical seal inside this room.
All right. Next. Someone else look around.
So, not a seal, I can tell you. With a high enough roll, I can tell you there's not a seal to be seen.
It's
Okay.
a ruby, right?
It is. Mm-hmm.
The ruby was linked to the Infernal book or language. Question
Oh
mark?
yeah, there's probably a book in here somewhere.
Wait, what?
Down, you know, downstairs when Max was stuck in that thing, there was it like a chandelier at the top of that
Oh,
room?
right.
And
Yeah,
there
we
was,
had to read a
sapphire,
book
emerald,
with a
ruby, and
skull.
onyx. And the ruby was the infernal language.
Are there any books in the room?
There are not. Pretty simply looking around, you don't see any books.
Would it be another skull type mechanism? Brad, can you check for a skull somewhere?
What am I rolling here?
I don't
If you want to roll
Grog climb
investigation
on the
for a
ceiling.
skull, this is
I mean,
this
there's
is like the
gotta be
puzzle for the day.
some-
So the puzzle
yeah.
for the day is find out. Like you tell me what you're looking for, and then roll, and then I tell you if you find it or not.
Okay. What am I looking for?
You said
Whatever you
skull.
want. But last time there was a skull we had to like demagify, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. The ruby was inside the skull, though, right in the first
Oh,
place.
true. But we had to read a book to the skull
Yeah.
to make it not hurt us. We
release
can
it, I
grab.
think.
What did we do with the ruby? It released
Whoever
the ruby.
set
What did
this
we
up-
do with it?
Put the gem into a bucket of moppy water. So whoever set this up is not magically inclined.
Trunks, how much for you to drink this water?
I refuse to drink soap and dirt
I walk
water.
over to Grog
Victor.
and try to convince Grog that the water is delicious.
Me?
Girl.
Again?
What do I need to roll for this?
So first you have to drink the water, and then you have to persuade.
Can't I just like convince him with my words?
How would you convince him that something was delicious if you'd never tasted it?
I cast minor illusion to create a cup of water
Okay.
that I pretend to take out of the bucket.
All right. Roll me a deception check.
He has +6 on this.
Oh no.
With a 19, Grog, roll me an insight check.
Insight check.
He's drinking mop water.
Mm,
Oh,
This is
no.
delicious, Grog. You should try
But if
some.
Grog
You're
was
pretty
the one
convinced. It's
trying
like-
to convince
You know
Trunks.
what? You know what? I am kind of thirsty. Hey, pass me that cup.
You pick up the
I give
bucket
him-
of
I give him the
mop
bucket of-
water.
I just take the whole bucket.
All right. Roll me a Constitution saving throw as
Oh no.
you
Victor.
drink the bucket of mop water.
Okay,
Okay.
thank goodness.
So Grog, as you down a bunch of this mop water, it is disgusting, but if you would like, you can try and trick everyone into thinking that it's really good because you rolled so highly.
Hey, Chunks,
Oh my
watch
god!
this.
I go in for I go in for another mouthful. It's so good. Oh my god!
Goes
this
in
is
for a
really
sec-
good.
Wait, what the heck? Is it actually good, Grog?
It's so good.
Everyone in the party is convinced
I
that
don't
Grog
believe
just
you.
found the best water and you all are missing out.
No, I roll
Well,
on
I am
my
getting kind of
perception
thirsty.
or something like that.
Roll insight. If you wanna try and beat a 23, roll insight.
I
gonna
literally
drink
can't.
it?
I
What
have a
if I'm
plus.
thirsty?
I have a +2. I literally can't beat it.
Everybody's convinced. Maximilian, he's
I
gonna
want
roll.
you to know, if you rolled 23, I would have absolutely cast Ben Luck against you. Just FYI.
Maximilian rolls and he goes, "Oh man, I wish I was still alive. That looks pretty good."
I'm a water salesman in every game I play.
Wait, is Victor deceived too?
No, I
yeah.
shouldn't be.
Is he like, wait a second, maybe it is
Victor
good?
Yeah.
doesn't even
It's like,
remember.
wait,
Oh
is it
my
actually
goodness.
Oh yeah, I guess because I never actually drank it. Yeah, what I
Yeah.
roll here?
Yeah, you'd be. You can roll insight.
Insight. Please get a 1.
Yeah, no,
Wow,
he's definitely enjoyed it.
You're so convinced, Victor.
Wow, it actually wait, that's actually good, Grog? Hold on.
So now are we all doing Constitution saving throws?
I'm not
Well, it
drinking
depends.
that.
Is
I'm not
Grog
thirsty.
gonna let you
Around.
all, or is he gonna down the rest of it himself?
I passed the bucket around.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Hey guys.
I
Look, I have a
want
confession to
to.
make. I was just trying to make you think it was delicious. I had no idea it was actually good.
Well, you know what, Victor? I'm glad you did because that was incredible.
All right, everyone, roll me a Constitution saving throw as you all
Oh God.
as you all lean down.
God damn.
Ah! Can I
Oh
pick
my
Victor
God.
up by the ankles and swing him into the wall?
What? You don't know that it doesn't taste good yet, and it's Grog who's convincing you, not me. So why would you be swinging me in the wall? Random act of
I
aggression.
told them to.
All right,
I got
so
a natural 1.
Victor, it is awful, but you're able to hold your composure.
I'm going to use performance to be like, yeah, that was delicious.
Yeah, go ahead, roll performance. 16. That's pretty good. It doesn't affect anyone else's rolls, but they all failed anyway. Crumb, you begin to hack. Korax, you just straight up throw up the rest of whatever water was in your lungs from before, and
Can I throw up on Grog?
absolutely.
Okay.
And Trunks,
Dodge this,
you throw
Grog.
up, and some of it comes out of your trunk as well. Just
Right onto Victor.
right onto Victor.
Oh, it's all over me.
Hold on. Grog and Victor, roll me dexterity saving throws to dodge the puke.
Oh man.
All right, so Grog, you're able to dodge out of the way, just get the coattails of your Hawaiian shirt, or, kind of just barely dodge out of the way, and then Victor, you just get covered in it.
Deserved, honestly.
You all hear, actually, everyone roll me a perception check.
I was
except for
actually going to
Victor,
do,
except for
before
Victor.
this entire
Except for me.
catastrophe happened, I was going to divine sense for anything that's affected by a spell
Why
within
am I
60
roll
feet.
so bad? I don't understand, bro. Why is this?
Should I do that, or
happening?
should I perception
Oh
first?
no. I'm,
I
Um,
think
perception
perception
first.
first.
Okay.
I'm very distracted by this vomit that almost landed on me.
Okay. So Crumb and Grog, both kind of distracted. Korax and Trunks, you hear from in Victor's direction, like from Victor's body, you hear like a growling noise, like kind of not like a stomach growl, not like a, but it's kind
hungry
of
or
coming
something?
from the stomach area. It sounds like.
Did we just swallow a ghost? Was the
What?
water a ghost?
What happened, Victor?
And you
do
swear,
you hear
you
that?
swear to God that you hear a.
It's a dog.
Why do we hear a dog?
I just start patting at myself nervously.
What?
The
What are you
growling
patting at?
subsides.
Victor, what happened? What are you?
I don't know
What's-
what you guys hear. What?
A bit of growling coming, but it wasn't your
Wait, you-
stomach. I don't think you were that hungry.
I didn't hear growling. Wait,
Victor,
what?
roll a deception check for me with advantage. So roll twice, take the higher number.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. I don't know
Anyone
what you
who
guys are
wants to
talking
roll an
about.
insight check can.
I'm not gonna beat that, but
If you can beat a 24.
I cannot.
I have to get a
Why is
natural
this
20 to
happening
beat
to
it.
me?
I'm too distracted. I won't roll.
All right. So everyone kind of shrugs it off as Victor just being weird Victor. Nothing to see here.
Roll to gaslight someone.
Roll to gaslight.
Roll to gaslight.
I'm definitely looking super anxious right now though.
Well, I would like to use a divine sense to see if I can find anything affected by a spell in this room.
Okay.
Cool.
You use your divine sense, and what does it read? Can you read it to me?
As an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or something not behind total cover. I assume that the spell like that, does that work, or am I misunderstanding? Okay.
No, that works. You don't see anything affected by the Hollow spell, or any celestial spells or anything. It seems like whatever this gem was creating, this barrier in this room, it was haphazardly put together by someone who doesn't know magic very well. But it is strange to be in a closet for sure. Very strange.
What if I just remove? Oh, I can't remove curse. I'll use one of my level 3 spells.
So again, the puzzle is you figure out what you want to look around the room for, and then I'll let you know if you find it, kind of thing. That's the puzzle for this specific encounter.
Yeah, I mean, we already broke this. We already broke the effect that was stopping Max Nana getting through.
Oh, can they get through? Actually, let's.
They walk.
Oh, yeah,
in
the
there,
gem.
right?
The gem.
So you have the gem. You're holding on to it. It is not affecting anything. It seems like the gem needs to be attached to a physical object for it to affect
So
it.
what else was in the room? Like a mop, a bucket.
Yeah, it's just your standard storage closet. Most of your standard storage supplies are going to be in here. Broom, mop, bucket.
Okay, I Korax knocks on the floor to see if it's hollow? Maybe there's something hidden under the floor?
Roll a perception check to try and like hear the difference between a hollow floor and a non-hollow floor. Okay. With a 16, as you knock, you're familiar with the noise of knocking on wood. Solid wood, hollow wood. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. But everyone can actually hear this. So 16's not quite enough really to discern the difference. Everyone else go ahead and roll your perception checks as well.
Really? 16's not enough?
I'm blind.
Oh, grog, hell
Grog
yeah.
is good.
Gosh.
All right. So you can't tell that the floor is hollow necessarily, but Grog, you do hear like a rattling, a very soft rattling as she knocks on the floor. Like there is a metal like latch rattling.
Is there a rug, or what's the floor look like?
It looks
It's
like just your standard
wood.
wooden floor.
Oh, so there's nothing covering the floor. Okay.
We're just blind.
Metal
What do you
rattle.
hear, Grog?
I can hear. Do you guys hear that? When you knock it, I can hear like a rattling under the floor. A metal rattling when you knock.
Hey,
like
Grog, do you want to punch the floor?
Is there like a handle
Crumb
on the
hyper-
floor?
No hand on the floor. Crumb hyperventilating in the corner.
Grog, yeah. You wanna wreck this floor?
Should I tear up this floorboard?
Max, is that okay?
I think the floor doesn't stand a chance.
Okay,
Max,
just
do you
to
know of
see-
anything underneath this closet?
The
Let's
more
just see what
damage you do to
happens.
this place, the better, in my opinion.
I'm
Oh,
going
hell
to
all I needed,
see what
Max.
That's all I
happens.
needed,
I'm going
Max.
to knock on the floor.
Crumb,
I'm
that's what
going to
Max
knock on the
said.
floor.
Max endorses this.
Wait, I already knocked on the floor, Crumb.
Okay.
Give it a try, Crumb. You can do what you want.
No,
Yeah,
you
she
can
can still
punch it.
knock. She's got a little.
Okay, all right, you can knock on the floor.
No, punch the floor, because Max wants it.
Max just said
Right.
that, he doesn't mind the mansion being destroyed. It's not his home.
Okay. Am I unarmed striking this again then?
If you'd
We're
like
gonna-
With your Omega damage.
to, go ahead and
I just-
roll.
Just
To
one
hit?
die this time.
Good.
Not bad.
22.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
I mean, if you miss
Um,
the floor, that'd be pretty bad.
So
Yeah.
damage.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Which is one of us.
What's the
instead.
floor's armor class?
It says the gloves thing again. It said let me just check that again. An extra 2d10. So should I just do that custom? After?
Yeah, roll 2d10 and then add, I think, 4 to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the bludgeoning is just a flat 4, isn't it?
Mhm.
We didn't have to roll for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so roll
we'll do
2d10.
Custom d10. Oh.
All right. So with
The floor
14,
never stood a chance.
you punch downward, and again, this time the floor caves in. Grog, you're the only one standing on it where you've punched, and you kind of begin to fall down this hole that has been created.
he's gonna
Roll me a
fall lava.
dexterity saving throw.
Boy's just spleefed himself.
Okay. So with a 10,
Oh,
you
no.
kind of like begin to ragdoll down this wooden passageway. Just bam, bam, hitting your head, hitting your face on the ladder. You're
Can
going
I
to take...
add?
What'd you say?
I was going to say, can I add the fact that I have the climbing thing? Just I don't know if that's going to come into
Yeah,
play here
roll
at
with
all.
advantage then. Roll your dex save with advantage.
Okay, dex save just one more time.
Yeah,
Then.
yeah.
Okay.
1.
Don't root against our.
Okay. You're going to take less damage, but you're still going to take 5 bludgeoning damage as you finally catch yourself on the ladder about halfway down. You see up and you look up and see Korax and Crumb looking down at you from the opening.
I say, oops.
You're like on a ladder inside of what looks like a wooden shaft of some kind. It goes downward
Okay.
to the basement area.
But hey, at least I found this ladder.
Okay, wait. Does this go all the way back down to the basement? Where are we going back? I thought we.
I don't know. Let's go look.
Can we go down? Can I fit down here?
Yes, you can actually. It's
Okay.
very large. It takes up the whole closet kind of
Okay.
area. So, as you all descend down the ladder, you all begin to hear a noise that is louder than you guys' even crashing of the floor or your knocking. It seems very frustrated as you hear a you start just hearing these noises down at the bottom of the ladder.
Me when talking.
Bless you.
You went Taco Bell, did you say?
Me and Taco Bell.
So, as you continue down the ladder, that like grunting and anger kind of turns to like a exasperated noise, like a stupid.
She trapped.
And as you continue down, you finally reach the bottom, Grog. First one. It's a wooden passageway that leads out into an open chamber where you see a ghostly girl in golden armor with a large katana swinging it at what looks like a training dummy that the katana is going through. It's like going through it, not dealing any damage to it. And she's frustratedly trying to swing at it. She throws the katana down in frustration, which then reappears back in her hand as she begins to kind of like cry and stand there, like float there above the training dummy. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
How far away is this approximately from where we're standing
Grog,
upstairs?
about 100 feet.
Okay.
It's like a large
That's
training
really
area
far.
in the basement, kind of like above where the basement would be.
I'll call over to her and be like, hey, you okay?
Hey.
Hey, girl.
As she turns to look at you, her eyes get like real big and she throws her katana at you.
Uh-oh.
100 feet.
Oh my gosh.
How
She's
far away is
strong.
Grog from
The
you right now?
katana clatters to the ground and she begins to quickly float in your direction, pulling out another sword, and the katana then appearing in her other hand. She's dual wielding, like floating towards you at a rapid pace.
Uh-oh.
Guys, back up the ladder. Guys, back
Wait,
up.
how far away is Grog from me right now?
He's about like 20 feet.
Okay. As she's charging at him, can I cast Minor Illusion to create a copy of the training dummy in front of him?
Sure. You create a copy of the training dummy in front of him. It seems to kind of confuse her a bit as she kind of flies towards it. She closes her eyes and kind of like backs up away from the training dummy and then kind of floats backwards away from you all. She's looking at the training dummy you've created, and she looks back at her training dummy and she says, How'd you get over here? Richard, how'd you get over there? This is an I Am Legend moment.
Richard. Oh no.
She is talking to the training dummy, has named it Richard, it seems.
Why
I'll
was she
say-
trying to kill it?
I'll say, Victoria, is that you?
She quickly, like her eyes get like real big as she looks at you and she says, how do you know my name?
We are here to help your family. We've already helped your dad, your sister, and we've spoke to your brother as well.
So as you say that, Maximilian and Annabelle float forward into the open room, and Victoria, her eyes begin to kind of weep with tears as she drops both of her swords, staring at you all. She says, I thought, how long has it been? And Maximilian kind of floats over and says, my daughter, I'm so sorry. And they all kind of float together towards each other for a hug. This room seems to be kind of a secret hideaway for Victoria, one that even Dad wouldn't have known about. And Annabelle, she is like exasperatedly sobbing, like hugging her sister. Hasn't seen her in 100 years. Seems like sister's been trapped here by that spell that was kind of locking her in her little hideaway. And she looks at you all. With her armor on, she says, "Who did this to us?" She pushes her dad and Annabelle kind of like just to the side gently, and she floats towards you. "Who did this to us?"
Leon?
You guys? Oh,
Kind
Leon.
of.
Leon, not Leon.
Well, Leon, I mean, but Leon was under the. I don't know. Do we want to?
It was kind
I
of
whisper to the
bad.
group. I whisper to the group.
Wasn't it all
like,
of them?
Yeah, do we want to tell them it was like Andre seems to be bad? I don't know if they're ready to take that news yet. Max didn't seem they're ready to take that
Yeah,
news
maybe we
yet.
should be like, maybe we
He
should
doesn't
was
like
kinda
the mom.
Max
He doesn't like the mom.
But it was kind of
it'll be
Max that
fine.
started the whole thing because he was the one that like did the spell at the start.
Oh, maybe
Right,
we
but
say we
it's-
don't know. How about
But
we say
Andre,
we don't know?
Andre kind of said we were still,
Yeah,
yeah,
Andre
we're
is
still
kinda-
trying to figure it out. That's
Yeah,
why
we
we're
don't
here,
know
guys.
yet.
One moment,
Where-
please.
As you're all kind of discussing back and forth, Victoria, she kind of floats over. She has black hair that comes down in into a pixie cut. She looks like she's probably 15 or 16, and she looks pissed. Absolutely angry. She's kind of floating in front of you all, staring intently. She's gotten close enough to kind of hear everything that you're saying. And she says, "I'm only going to ask you one more time. Who did this?"
Victoria, Mrs. Victoria, I'm very sorry. We don't want to make you angry at us. We don't know. We don't have an exact answer, but we do have a suspect.
Who?
Your mom.
How do I roll to dab, dude?
Oh no.
Roll a performance check to dab. It's a weak dab.
the
It's like
worst.
It's like a quick little one. It's a little itty bitty dab. Just trying to hype up Crumb's burn, you know?
It wasn't a brain. We actually think it's your mom. Do you have any information regarding your mom? Like any strange behavior?
Well, before you're able to say that, she's got to react right to what you said. I mean, she's got to have a reaction. So as you say your mom, her eyes kind of flare up with ghostly anger, and she turns or whips around and turns to face her dad. And she says, "I told you to never let that witch in our lives."
Whoa.
And she flies over to him and begins
Same, Victoria.
futilely
Same.
kind of slamming her hands on his chest as he backs up. Victoria, enough. And they kind of Victoria begins to crumple down into sadness as she begins to sob. And she says, "It has to be her. It has to be her. It has to be her. I knew it. I knew it." And Maximilian says, "No, it must be someone else. Victoria, it couldn't have been her." And she kind of points her finger up to him and says, "This is your fault! It's your fault!" And they begin to kind of just stare at each other in silence. Maximilian looks hurt.
Hey, sorry to interrupt this moment, but just checking, is she a stepmom or is she biological? Because there's a lot of anger, and I letting in your live, it sounds like a stepmom.
Yeah, it sounds
Just
like a
wondering.
stepmom.
She whips around and says, "My stepmom. Their mom."
Oh.
I see.
I get it. Yep, I
understand.
get it. Yeah, I
Makes
get
sense.
She kind of with tears kind of coming down her face, she shakes them off, wipes them off, and flies over to you, and she says, "So, when do we kill her? When do we get to kill her?"
Let's not move too quickly. We need to first confirm that it is your not mom, because we don't want to do anything that is not good. So please provide us with all the information you have about your not mom.
What did your stepmom do to make you know she was not good.
Tell me about your mother.
Ever since her and my dad met, he has been infatuated with her. And it seems like he still is. The fool.
Shrimp.
Turns around. She whips back around to you all, addressing you all. I have never liked her. I could always sense that she was using my father. What do you want to know? I don't know everything, but what do you want to know?
You called her a witch. What was that referring to?
She's evil.
Does she do magic?
Not that I know of.
Maybe that Mr. Millionaire was cast under a spell to like her a lot.
Maybe she can do magic.
Mr. Millionaire.
Mr. Millionaire. I mean, Maximillionaire does have a mansion.
I like that though.
So, as you guys are speaking, Maximilian kind of like looking back and forth. He looks over to Annabelle, who's like tapping him on the shoulder, and she whispers something into his ear. As he looks back to you all, he says, "My daughter tells me that while you were facing that large gator, there was a moment where I seemed different. A moment where I... What was it?" Annabelle floats over to you all and says, "There was like a moment where he seemed clear. He looked to me and he said, 'Something's different.' And then he went back to his normal self. I didn't want to say anything. I thought maybe it was just a weird..."
Sounds like he's under some kind of spell.
So think back to your alligator fight for a second. Your crocodile fight.
Oh, there was a brief moment where...
Oh, the
made
dispel
contact.
curse thing on the ring
Yeah.
happened.
Was that remove curse or was that a crumb thing? I can't remember what it was. It was Korax that used it, right?
Yeah, I removed curse.
Correct.
Remove curse.
Can we try doing remove curse on
I put
Mr. Millionaire?
I put my hand on Max's shoulder and I look at him dead on and say, "Buddy, I think you might be cursed."
I mean, have we shown him the ring yet?
Yes,
I guess
he's seen
not.
it.
Oh,
I mean,
he has.
he's seen
Okay.
it. It's
And
in
he
your
knows that
familiar's
Edward's
talons.
inside it, right?
So if we do remove curse, though, given that it's the ring that's cursed, it'll just revert back on Max. So we can't do it to Max.
Well, it seems like remove curse. Even if we remove curse on the alligator, and it removed that entire curse from everything. It didn't just remove the curse from the alligator. It worked on Max, who was the other side of tunnels. So it's more of like a global thing, right? We're not just removing a curse on one thing.
Well, but it was temporary until the ring clawed back.
Yeah, I guess
what
the
it
source
had
of the
before.
curse is still active. Then, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's as simple as doing another remove
Yeah.
curse. It'll just flash for a second, and then
Yeah, it only does
return.
it. It only does it temporarily.
Hmm.
I read it.
Yeah. Well, we could tell Victoria that we think we could tell them all that we think
Yeah,
that they're
the
under a
ring,
curse.
yeah.
Then
Victoria looks to you all and then looks at the ring and says, "That has to be it. That has to be it. Can't you destroy it or something?"
Your brother's in here, bro. He will. I don't know what will happen if we.
Do you
destroy it,
have
but I
any
don't
large
want to.
volcanoes nearby?
No, we can't destroy it.
Edward's in there?
Edward's in here. You don't want to hurt him.
we're
I
gonna
see
get him out, but we just need to figure out how.
Victoria kind of like puts her hand over her face, thinking Maximilian seems kind of like phased out at the moment, just kind of like staring off into the distance. Annabelle says, "I know you like your new ghost friend, Korax, but I have an idea.
What's that?
If we remove the curse from the ring, and you use your lantern to capture Edward in that one moment."
I was actually thinking that, but I didn't want to suggest it because I like my ghost.
What would happen to one of the ghosts in there? Would you just let it go?
I guess so.
Maybe
Barnabas
We
would
don't
like
even know
to
who
be-
the other one is. Maybe the other one's super lame.
I didn't really like Barnabas that much anyway.
Yeah, he was kind of meh. I don't think he'd even fight for me anyway. We could try that. We could try that.
Or do we also? There is the door that requires the ring. Do we do that first, or do we try to free Edward before?
Yeah, if Edward's in that ring, and then we I don't want to lose Edward to the door, or
in my dream, Edward said there is a book that will lift the curse and release him from the ring. He thought.
Right, it's probably.
Can I be really real with you?
What's up?
Annabelle says. Edward doesn't know anything like the magic I know.
Okay.
I don't think we want to use the ring on the door with him inside. Who knows what can happen?
Okay. We could
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah.
Okay, do we get to meet the other ghost before?
No, I
we
think
choose
we
one to
need
free?
the other ghost.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like
So
kind of
Barnabas gets his freedom.
Or I guess Barnabas gets to be free.
Cool.
All right.
Are we gonna stamp Barnabas?
So
can ask
you're not
Barnabas
sure what's
if he
going to
wants to be
happen when
stamped.
she releases him.
Okay.
Okay, I
Correct, you've done this
summoned-
before, actually, so you would know.
Oh, I have. Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
happens?
at least, or you may have not done it, but you've read about it. So what happens is he is going to be released from the lantern and then become a free ghost, but he will not move on to the afterlife by himself. Someone would need to stamp him.
Okay.
You must
I'm
give
just
him a
trying to
sock
remember.
as a free ghost.
Our stamp doesn't have any.
Yeah.
And
it
you
has
can
unlimited uses, right?
Yep. And you
Okay.
can use the like you can let a ghost free anytime that you'd like. So you from the lantern, that is. So it's like free, that it doesn't take, you can do that as many times as you want. Kind of.
Oh, okay.
So
I go
Alright.
stamping him.
All right. I take the Barnabas lantern and I summon Barnabas.
all right.
Oh, you again.
Oh,
Poopy.
you again.
What do you want?
I'm here to give you your freedom, actually. Do you want to be free?
Yes, very much so.
All right. You got to say please, though. And thank
Please.
you.
Please.
Okay,
And
but you got to
thank
say
you.
thank you as well.
Oh, jeez.
No promises.
All right, maybe that's the best we're going to get. All right. I do my little thing that releases the ghost in my lantern.
All right, so you close the door of the lantern. As you do, it severs the little tail that's attached to him, and he kind of like wiggles his feet in excitedness, and he kind of floats over to where Victor is, and he says,
I don't have use for that thing anyway.
The staff?
I pretend not to hear him.
I said I don't have use for that thing anyway.
I'm looking at the ceiling. It's really interesting right now.
Whoa, you're ghosting
Pay
him,
attention
dude?
to me.
I shuffle behind Trunks again.
Hey.
Yeah.
Crumb, do you want to stamp him?
Oh yes, I do
Stamp
want.
me?
Oh, do you want to stamp him though?
what's
or do
that?
we want to like? keep
Barnabas,
him
do you
around?
want to be stamped, or do you enjoy chilling here?
What's stamped?
You will be set to the free to the afterworld.
I see. Well, it's
I
better
suddenly
than
start
floating
paying
around
attention.
here.
Say that again, Victor.
Oh, I suddenly start paying attention. Is all I'm saying.
I thought you said I suddenly stamp him. He's like mid-decision.
No, I'm no longer ignoring him. Is all.
Okay.
so Crumb, your stamp is like, it's like a little carving that's on the bottom of your right paw.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is so awesome. Okay, I go up to him and I give him a pat on the shoulder.
He kind of kneels down in front of you, and he says,
Well, I'm finally coming home.
Yay!
I love you, Elizabeth.
and as he says
Okay.
that, you put your paw on his shoulder, and he disappears into a bright blue starry dust.
We did it.
Yay! We helped someone.
Woohoo!
So,
Cool.
as you do that, you now have a mission ahead of you. Which is,
All right.
what's your plan? What are you going to do?
Remove curse.
No, remove
Pokeball
Edward.
Edward.
Remove Edward. Yes.
I'm using a lot of my slots for you guys.
Okay, you're saving the kid.
Here we go. All right, so I use I use remove curse on the ring. I have my familiar drop the ring in my palm and I go, boop, remove curse.
All right. So as you cast remove curse on the ring, there is a slight pause, and the purple curse that kind of surrounds it dissipates, leaving just a slight blue glow in the middle of where the ring is. And you hear Edward's voice coming from that glow. Hello? Hello? Corax, what do you do?
Hello, Edward. And then I bring up my lantern and I say, welcome, Edward. And I swoop him in.
All right. As you open the door to the lantern, the middle of the ring begins to kind of suck out this like wisp from the middle of the ring and sucks itself quickly into the lantern, leaving just the ring on the ground, which then begins to glow a purple color by itself, and your lantern has a soul in it.
Wait, so while this is going on, Max is kind of like free for like 3 or 4 seconds or whatever, right? Okay, I've been like eagerly waiting to ask him in his moment of clarity if he knows any weaknesses to his wife like that we could use.
I'm proud of Victor for asking a serious question.
Maximilian seems so like
I
during
missed
those
the
3 or 4
question.
seconds where he's kind of free, his eyes, he kind of blinks and looks at you, Victor, and he says, Victor, yes, my wife, she, oh my gosh, he seems flabbergasted, like he's
Put it out!
going through a bunch of things in his brain. Victor, what do you do to get your friend under control so he can tell you some information?
Can I slap a ghost? Is that an option?
Hell yeah.
I would like to slap a ghost.
All right.
Snap out of it!
All
Max,
right,
we've only got a few seconds.
Roll me a friendship check, which is going to be, that's going to be a charisma check. So scroll up to your charisma score, and then click on the little number under charisma.
I'm going to use my luck
Oh no.
to reroll.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh,
So you go to slap him, and you feel like it's going to be a bad slap, so you readjust your hand and kind of like uppercut slap him.
Crink my neck a little.
Yep. And he grabs his cheek and he says, She's vain. She's vain. Appeal to it. It'll work, I promise. It'll distract her enough.
Let's compliment him.
There's another person. There's another. And as he says that,
Oh.
he
yes.
We all audibly gasp as a group.
So his wife has a boyfriend.
I bet they have something to do with the inspectors.
Wait, if his
there's all
wife has a
conspiracy.
boyfriend, then it's Max probably has GME stock.
I'm so done with you. All right.
Sorry.
I don't
So,
get this reference.
with that, you have Edward in the lantern. You can release him anytime you want, and he can float around with the rest of you.
And he's not cursed any longer now that he's in the lantern?
You're not sure.
Okay.
He's in the lantern right now.
Should we mention to Anna that James is waiting for her return? We have all of them. We could stamp any of them at any point and put them in and move them on into the afterlife.
we might still need them for information.
Yeah,
We haven't found anything yet.
they are pretty useful.
And we've been abandoned by the organization.
It's just our goal.
Is our mission still
Yeah, true.
viable?
Well, you
Or
still want to
we've
release
gone
them into the
rogue?
afterlife so that they're not like cursedly floating around in this like middle life as ghosts.
Well,
Yeah,
now that
but
Bring
they've
it
not
out of
yet.
empathy and not job.
Yeah,
though,
correct.
at this point.
Correct.
Yeah, now that
Um,
they've seen us stamp a ghost and they understand that that's what we are here to do, right? They know that at the end of the day, we are here to stamp them and move them on into the afterlife. We talked about that, right?
Yeah,
think
we've already told them.
Okay.
I think,
Sure,
I
at
think we
least
just give them the
Max.
option because maybe some of them want vengeance on the mom, like the Victoria.
Yeah, some
or
might
whatever.
want to stick around and see this out.
But I think we still need information on like
Mhm.
where to go and what to do. Like in case we get another puzzle, we need to ask them for advice or like.
I
Mhm.
do think we need to head back to the library now. And
I do think
Yeah,
so
sounds like
too.
that's
Door.
the next move.
All right. So, do you tell Annabelle about James?
I think we leave this one up to Crumb.
Okay, wait, real quick. Unrelated, is 12 p.m. the one in the morning or the one of the night?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
That's afternoon.
Okay,
Yes, middle of the day.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I want James and Annabelle to meet. I feel like
Yeah, me
because we
too.
made him stay there. We were like, oh, we're
We could even
leaving
go and bring
Annabelle.
James with us, potentially.
Yes, I
Yes,
think
let
we
us
should bring-
expose more child ghosts
Oh yeah,
to danger.
James was there.
I think we should tell Anna about James.
Sure.
You're not far from James's room. If you go back up the ladder, and then you just kind of round outside the closet, you up the stairs, and there's Annabelle's room.
Mm-hmm. So,
Do that as the last mission of the day.
Sure. Okay. So, do you tell her? Or do you want to just lead her?
I think we should lead her.
We got a surprise.
It's a
for you.
surprise. Put the blindfold on.
Yeah.
Okay. They all follow you out. Are you leaving Edward in the lantern? It's not a very fun place to be.
Oh yeah, I guess I can let him out. Don't I have to sleep first to use it again, or is it a, they get like
Different
reset
ghost.
within? Okay, I release, not release, but I let him out.
Okay. So as you let him out
on a
and
leash.
you keep him on his leash.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Or just
he
for now.
he comes out. Edward is a young man, probably 6 or 7. He's younger than even.
Aw,
That's not even a man. That's
Anna
a boy.
is.
young boy.
Young boy.
Kiddo.
And he's got like a bowl cut. So like a classic bowl cut.
You poor child.
And he's wearing like a suit, like a dress suit kind of thing. And he comes out of the lantern, exasperated. He kind of says, "Oh my gosh! Hi, everybody." He
Hi,
waves at his
Edward.
family.
Hi, Edward.
Good to see you again.
They all kind of fly over and give him a hug, especially Victoria. As they all kind of hug each other, Victoria says, I'm sorry for yelling at you. I'm sorry for everything that... They just kind of like hug each other a little bit. It seems like they obviously had some, being the only child who is not born to this woman, she probably had some resentment to how much, favoritism they got and that kind of thing. But she still has a lot of love for her younger siblings.
Aw.
Yeah.
So, with that said, you all head up towards Annabelle's room, open the creaky door. Once in a while, a ghost comes out and attack you, but you wipe those things out of existence. This time, Maximilian takes his staff and jams it in this ghost's eye, and it disappears.
Yeah.
So, you come up to Annabelle's doorway, fling it open, creaks open, and inside, you see already James sitting at Annabelle's desk, just looking at the page you left open on her diary, and he's just kind of like staring at it. But he quickly turns and looks to see all of you in the doorway, including his ghostly best friend, Annabelle, who flies over to him. Oh, James! James! She flies over to him and gives him a big hug. And she just begins to start crying. And she says, I didn't know you were here. I didn't know you were in that mansion. She kind of starts crying and they begin to hug each other. And he says, I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you always. They kind of like hugging each other. So, as they do, you all stand in this room together, having reunited them all. And Maximilian and Victoria, looking at you, they kind of raise their eyebrows looking at you. And Maximilian says, Victor.
Yes.
Can I ask a favor of you?
Anything, my friend.
I want you to give my youngest children and their friend are passing. Victoria and I will stay with you, but let them go free.
Uncharacteristically, I respond seriously with a nod.
Aw.
I don't know if I'm supposed to wait for the music.
So, as you nod, the three children kind of float over, and Annabelle comes down and hugs Crumb and says,
Aw.
"Pretty kitty, I'm gonna miss you."
I hug her back and I say, pretty human girl, I will miss you.
Just start purring.
James flies over to Trunks and Grog, Korax, who are all kind of standing next to each other, and he says, "Thank you for finding my friend."
Yeah, no
Told
problem,
you,
kiddo.
Told you we would, James.
Yeah.
Are you
we
really a
kept our
kiddo
promise.
if you're actually like 100 years older than us?
James smiles and says, "I was never really good at math."
Aw.
Fair enough.
I ruffle his hair, his ghostly hair.
Edward flies over to Korax and hugs her without
Aw, yay.
saying anything. "Thank you."
I give
He
a
just
slight
whispers it.
hug back.
Slight hug.
Slight hug.
So,
I want-
James floats in front of Grog. Annabelle floats in front of Victor this time. And Edward floats in front of Korax. Grog, your stamp is on your non-lost thumb. So it's
That's
kind of like
convenient.
burned into your thumb. Victor, yours is on the rim of your cloak, like on the wrist of your cloak. And Korax, yours is on your scepter on the bottom.
Before we do any stamping,
Okay,
I look at the ghosts. I look at Max. I look at the group. I'm like, we're gonna make this the coolest goodbye ever. And as we stamp each of them, I'm gonna cast light to make them glow really bright as we stamp them.
Before you do that, Maximilian brings them all in for one last hug. So does Victoria. She kind of gives them one big last hug.
I stand awkwardly in the corner, not really involved in this process.
I go to
I
stand
am
with
the
Trunks.
elephant in the room.
Haven't
Perfect.
you used this
Bravo,
joke already?
Bravo.
I have, but it
It
was
will
long
never get
enough. There
old.
was a gap.
I stand with Trunks so he feels more included.
Thank you, Crumb.
So the last thing that's said is Maximilian says, "I love you, my children, and I will see you soon." And they float in front of you all. You take your stamps. Victor, you cast light. And as you do, the room lights up in this beautiful array of colors, kind of like this bluish white. And each of the ghosts disappear in these sparkling blue stars, kind of floating up through the ceiling and some out through the window. And leaving you just in the room with all of you, Maximilian, and Victoria holding her katana. And that's where we'll end it for today.
Nice.
Yay.
All right.
So, with that said, we will pick up next week. I think we'll try for next Saturday. What's next Saturday? Next Saturday is the 25th. We'll keep you guys updated. Follow me on Twitter for updates on the show times. I always tweet out. You can also join the Discord, !Discord, to get updates as well on that. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. If you make any fan art, please use #MoonglowFanArt on Twitter. I've also been checking Tumblr as well. If you're a Tumblr user, you can do #MoonglowFanArt on Tumblr. There is been some incredible stuff, so thank you all for the just the wonderful session today.